All right, just got to start today's show off by saying a couple of quick things. One, first of all, thanks for lining up, everybody. Great to see the comments line full of activity before we even launched the show. Number two, had a great time on the night flight last night, but I still got to be totally honest with you guys. Tony, I want to be totally transparent before I pivot to my next point today. Little corporate America speak to make you comfortable. I got to tell you, if you remember the movie Ted, the first one, the teddy bear, Mark Wahlberg, when he gets thrown off the green monster and they showed like the bear like doing like one of these, Tony, like head over heels, like falling to the ground. Then he gets ripped in half. They saw him back together. And then Mark Wahlberg's like, how you doing, Ted? How you feeling? He goes, well, I'm a little fucked up. That's kind of where I'm coming from today, T. I'm still a little fucked up.
But, a little fucked up, yeah.
I'm a little fucked up, but I'm still ready to rock.
Like half of his face is like numb and swollen, right? I think.
Sure, which is how I feel right now. So let's get this whole thing rolling today. Welcome to Polymac Particles. We have Bonta Hill joining us at about 11:30 today. Going to take a nice deep dive into some Golden State Warrior talk. They have a huge game tonight against the Los Angeles Lakers. 7:00 start there. Giants off today. Opening up in San Francisco tomorrow. Obviously, everyone's going to the home opener. We're psyched about that. But before anybody goes anywhere, Tony, we got some business to take care of. Okay, a little show business, little town business on Carlos De La Fuente from Flex Funding. And by the way, you don't think I haven't noticed Tony's latest advancements on the program. Shout out to the new scrolling graphics we have, Tony. I'm a fan. Can you scroll some? Look at it. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is.
Man, it's awesome. It's good.
Can you join? Can you type up some messages like, hey, now, y'all, thanks for coming, shit like that? Or like,
yes, totally. Okay. Yes, we can. Well, yes, we talked about Bill Cosby last night. We can tell Bill Cosby to go F himself.
Well, we essentially did last night. I went straight on into the Bill Cosby controversy last night.
Yes,
Called him a serial rapist, which he is. I didn't create the scenario. I'm just commenting on it. Okay. Scarlet Fire already as a super. Let's just get her up there, and then I'll get into
Scarlet Fire. Come on. I have a question for Scarlet Fire, by the way, a.k.a. Bonnie. I want to know your ties to San Francisco and San Francisco high schools, because she sent me an email asking if I was going to play in the SI alumni baseball game.
Oh, God, I hope so. Fingers freaking crossed. Fingers crossed. Are you? Tell me you're going to get on the ground again.
For content, I want you.
Serve up some more meatballs.
Like, my last performance in an alumni game, I gave up, I think, 2 ground rule doubles and a grand slam.
And you take it so well. And by the way,
Tony I got yanked out of the game. I got yanked out of the game of an alumni game.
And I
couldn't get out of the inning.
It's one of my favorite stories you've told, because the first time you told me this, you're like, Paulie, I'm telling you, I was really trying to get these guys out. I was trying. And they were lighting you up. Now think about this. All the years that have gone by since that massacre, which probably means you're declined even more in terms of your heat, your stuff. Anyway, I hope you do play. And Scarlet Fire, I'm going to sing that message for you. I need some particles every day.
Yeah.
Dead and Company going back into another 3-night run tonight at the Sphere. I'll be there at the end of April, but they're getting ready for another 3-night run tonight in Las Vegas. If you're going to the show, send us your reviews. We'd be happy to see. In fact, on that note, one other thing before we get to Carlos, we're going to unveil a new feature on the show today called the PMP Mailbag. Because you guys are starting to get involved with our email address, is exactly what we like. Because send in your thoughts, your pictures, your activities, whatever you're up to. We talked about Noemi's husband, Ray. He's got a gig. If you got stuff like that, send it to the email box, and we'll get into it on the air during the PMP Mailbag segment. Brand new. We're going to do it today. Scarlet Fire, thank you, dear. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Scarlet Fire. Much appreciated.
Scarlet Fire has a lot of city knowledge, but she's also a Jersey girl, I believe. So she's got Jersey ties as well. As I've told you in the past, Tony, look at me, for example. Whether you like it or not, at some point, all roads lead through Jersey. That's just the way it is. You got no choice. And if you don't come to us, we'll come to you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I go, Tony, I'm from Jersey. Let's hang out.
I don't know what it is, people. When I meet people for the first time, they don't ask me where from the East Coast I'm from. They always ask, where from New York am I from? And they don't say, like, it's bizarre. And I'm like, I'm not
really have a New York accent, but you have like New York mannerisms about you. There are some New York. There's some New Yorky stuff about you, and I like that. I like that about you.
My first reaction was, "Oh, are you trying to say I'm an asshole?" Like, because I was the joke when I was a kid was like, "Oh, New Yorkers, man, they think they're just kind of like very in your face, very Nick Turturro, right?
Oh yeah,
very just in your face." I'm like, okay. They're like, no, it's a compliment. I go, okay, fine, whatever.
Talk fast, think fast, got a lot to say. They say it loud, and they give you their opinions whether you want it or not, Tony. Here comes Corinne. We got to keep the supers coming. All right, Corinne, get her up there.
Corinne, right on.
Hey,
nice.
Paul, whatever happened to Inga?
Dude,
I don't know
wow.
whatever happened to Inga. That's a great question, Corinne. I haven't heard from Inga in some time. I actually hadn't thought about her in a little while, but great question, Corinne. And thank you for checking in today. And you're right. She spread the particles magnificently. And I hope those Giants particles continue tomorrow. The 5-1 Giants.
And by the way, Corinne, tomorrow, why don't you make yourself a Manhattan for our first ever Polymac Particles home opener happy hour at 4:30. We're doing the show tomorrow at 4:30. So
yeah,
make note, 4:30. And also, if you're at the game and then you're cruising home from the game, put us on YouTube in your car. Put us on YouTube if you're on public transportation or if you're whatever. Just check out the show from 4:30 to 5:30 tomorrow after the home opener. Hopefully celebrating a Verlander and Giants W.
By the way, I want to kind of show my hand right now. I don't always do this, but I'm going to do it right now. I want to show my hand for the musical assignment tomorrow, which I'm going to assign to Tony, myself, and everybody on the comments line. If you want to play along, just send in your suggestions to the email address, which Tony will be good enough to scroll for you in just a moment. Tony, I'd like to see it scrolling, not just stationary mounting. I need scrolling. Something about that. It's making me laugh. Look at Bonta going right by. I love this. The musical assignment is as follows. So we did last week. It was the opening day for the Giants, even though it was the road opener. So the idea was, let's do greatest songs to open a concert, open a set, just to get the whole evening going when it comes to live music. So greatest set openers. We had fun with that. I gave you Cheap Trick. And Tony, what was yours last week? I'm forgetting your set opening song. I can check the playlist if you're forgetting.
Geez.
Did you forget your own?
I did. Lord. I'm forgetting my own.
I'm very disappointed. Stand by.
I'm trying to remember.
Stand the F by. Let me get to the bottom of it.
Show opener. Wow. It's just
here. I got you. Let me take care of it. I thought I had brain damage. Look at this kid.
Brain damage.
Whiskey River.
That's right. From Tahoe.
Sakes.
From Harrah's or Harvey's in Tahoe.
That's no way to treat Willie Nelson.
1978, I believe. Man, remember the gatefold of the record, man, with them all like laying down on the floor. It was great.
Luckily for me, the PMP playlist 25 is handy, and it comes in handy whether you want to listen or do research. Yes, Tony, you did Whiskey River. So for tomorrow, here's the assignment.
River, take my mind.
Tomorrow it's the home opener.
Yes.
So I want greatest songs involving home.
I'm on my way.
Well, now you're just blowing everyone's cover. Now, see, you're not playing. You're stepping outside the lines. You're stepping outside the lines.
Challenge yourself and don't pick Home Sweet Home by Motley Crue.
Are you talking to me or the listeners?
Everybody. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to everybody. Challenge yourself. Don't give me Home Sweet Home, and I don't want Sweet Home Alabama either. Sorry.
Wow, listen to this kid. A lot of demands. A lot of fucking demands from this guy today. We're sorry. Tony, again, I'm going to go ahead and submit to Major League Baseball that the only effective use for those sliding mitts would be the recreation of Robert Downey Jr. and Weird Science apologizing to his date with the backward "We're sorry," and with those sliding mitts, it would even be more pronounced. We're sorry. Okay, so songs about home. Tony won't accept a Skinnerd or Motley Crue. I don't know. You got to take it up with him.
I won't. Challenge yourself. Do some homework. Do some digging. Challenge yourself, because I'm going to challenge myself.
I'm going to blow the doors right off your head if there is such a thing tomorrow with my home selection, but it's coming. It's coming, Tony. Okay, so Carlos De La Fuente at Flex Funding. I was texting him last night, texting him today. Love talking to Carlos. And if you want to talk to Carlos, pick up that phone and call him at 925-250-4894. He is licensed in California. He can take care of any property in the state. He can help work on any property in the state. Tony, from Windsor to Willits.
Yep.
You got me. Windsor to Willits. What?
I just love your use of alliteration.
Windsor, I'm trying to line it up. Yeah, Windsor to Willits. How about you? From where to where? Give me a couple California towns.
Let's go from San Diego to San Clemente to Santa Barbara to San Francisco. How about that?
How about from Pismo Beach to Baker Beach? How's that sound? You know what I mean?
I'll go from Mendocino to Monterey.
This is the guy. I love this. See, now we're getting somewhere. From Mount Tam to Mount Shasta. Okay.
Yes. And throw in a weed from Weed to Windsor to Willits. How about that?
I don't want to leave out my East Bay friends. I want to shout out Mount Diablo as well. Shout out Mount Diablo. You ever go hiking on Mount Diablo? The seldom discussed Mount Diablo?
A ton. When I lived over there, I hiked over there a ton. I loved it. It was great. I'm just a hiker. I love hiking, period. So I'll just get out in nature. And by the way, that's a good tease for the mailbag, because I have a great picture of aspiring botanist out in nature I want to share later.
I got a few comments about the aspiring botanist myself, but let's do first things first. If you are in a situation in your adult life, which we all are, wherein you need cash and all signs pointing towards prices going up, listen, things are going to get very challenging out here in the upcoming weeks, months, and perhaps years. So Carlos de la Fuente, luckily, is out there offering his services to all of us. That includes me. That includes you, everybody in the comments line, everybody listening in. I mentioned he's licensed throughout the state, so it doesn't matter where you are. Give Carlos a call. He can go to work for you. And again, the idea is he handles private money loans. He is a mortgage lender, obviously, and he's a gentleman who you can trust, a stand-up city guy, city native, in business for over 26 years. And again, there are times in life where you just got to look at your finances and say, like, yeah, I need a little boost here. I need a little help. HELOC loans, that is his specialty. Home equity lines of credit. Here are some more positives, superlatives, if I may, to go along with Carlos's services. There are no appraisal fees or no fees attached at all. No escrow, no title fees, very fast closings. Tony, usually within 8 days. Again, everyone's time is precious. Carlos is aware of that. And maybe most importantly of all, he's just a guy who's easy to talk to, and he gets it. Carlos gets it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. And also, by the way, Los checking in on the comment line saying that rates dropped this week. Interest rates dropped this week. So check out Carlos. And I wanted to say, too, 8 days for the HELOC loan on average, 8 days. And also, even if you don't know for certain what you want to do, I would say call Los and have a conversation, and he can that's the starting point, right? It's like you'll never get something unless you try. I would say give Carlos a call and start the conversation, and I guarantee you he'll point you in the right direction. And speaking of Carlos pointing us in the right direction, I want to share this, Paulie. Here we go.
Sure.
There's Los right there, buddy, wearing his Iceman, wearing his Iceman t-shirt. He sent that. That was part of the mailbag. Look at that. I mean, it's the best of Top Gun, the Iceman t-shirt. Let me remove just so we can get a full glimpse. Look at that t-shirt. Is that
by the way,
glorious?
I'm also kind of consumed with the physique of a Carlos.
Totally.
With the shoulders, bro. He's bringing the bulk.
I love it. Lats. How about the lats?
We're talking lats. We're talking traps. My man gets in the weight room. There's no traps up here. The neck.
I know.
Traps
totally.
popping. Look at him. He's like a V, an upside down V. Carlos clearly hits the weight room, and he will hit it for you as well. So give him a ring.
Hell yeah.
You can also email Carlos it's carlos@myflexnow.com. There it is right there in front of you. So again, Carlos is the guy to talk to for any cash lending situations. You might have questions. He's got the answers for you. So get in touch. Now, Tony, just a couple quick comments. I want to get to the mailbag, and I want to get into the bummer brackets today before we go to Bonta Hill and talk Golden State Warrior basketball. But, I'm thinking about this game tonight with Steph and LeBron, a couple of the elder statesmen now in the NBA. But isn't it funny that
expect your blood pressure to rise, expect your blood to boil, expect to be pissed off? That's what I'm expecting, Paulie.
Okay, what based on
the officiating, based on it's like
based on King James.
Ladies love like LL Cool J, right? Ladies love Cool J, right? Ladies, what is it? Ladies love
that's right. Ladies love Cool J. That's right.
But what was the J? What's the J? Do we know what the J is?
It's James Todd Smith.
Thank you. That's right.
Yeah,
James
that's
Todd
his
Smith.
real name. Yeah.
Thank you. I knew we knew it. I knew it was in the back in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, sure.
But it's like if ladies love Cool J, then refs love LeBron, or refs love and flopping is going to happen. I'm just prepared to be upset. That's all I'm saying. And if you expect to be upset and then you're like pleasantly surprised that you never get upset, then that's a win. Right?
I don't know what you're talking about, but it all sounded very convincing. I like that. If you're upset, you think you're going to be upset. You don't want to be upset. You wind up being upset. I was like, what? What's he saying? But no, you're right. Anytime so-called King James is on the floor, there's always some wacky shit going on that bothers me. So yeah, of course, that's a given. But my point was going to be with Steph Curry at the age of 37 and LeBron at whatever age he is, 170. I don't know how old the guy is. But isn't it funny, Tony, that when you look at these two guys, like, these are two athletes that have kind of transcended age, because I don't care that Steph Curry, the only thing about Steph Curry being 37 years old is I know like he's closer to the end than the beginning. But when you watch his game, do you see any evidence of decline like associated with age? I don't. I just don't.
No, I feel like Jimmy Butler coming to the house. And by the way, LeBron 40. I did double check. December 30th, it was his birthday. I wanted to get his birthday correct.
Shout out you too. 40, former set closer. Tony, go ahead.
Oh man, nice call.
Yeah, good track
No,
too.
they don't.
Yeah.
They both. I mean, they both. See, the thing is that Steph doesn't flop. And granted, now LeBron has 3 years on Steph, so I'll give it to him on that. But I don't ever see Steph including flopping as part of his game.
No, and he
That's what
never
I
will.
can't stand LeBron doing.
Me
And the
too.
people have used his age as an excuse. I'm like, no, there's no excuse for playing that kind of garbage basketball.
Hey, T, remember that thing
Yeah.
you had put this on the show a couple of weeks ago when he was like Tatum was guarding him and he just threw back, like it was almost
Yeah.
like he had gotten shot by a sniper.
And he was never touched.
Never touched. And then he was on the
touched.
ground, like regaining his composure. I'm like, yo, LeBron, nobody even touched you, Holmes. It's a
Right.
terrible look. Yeah.
It's a horrible look. And
Yeah.
it's just, that's what I'm saying. Expect some of that garbage tonight. Expect the refs to, favor LeBron, especially down in La La Land. It's gonna happen. So if you expect it, then you won't get as upset.
If you expect it, they will come. Tony, also, do you have any have any other athletes you can point to that where you can say like age was just never?
Well, Nolan Ryan
Great
is somebody
one.
I think of.
Great one.
Yeah,
Great one. I was throwing no hitters in
Nolan
his
Ryan.
Me too. We all did, bro.
God.
We all did.
Oh,
give you one. I'm going to give you a Gordie Howe in the
Yeah.
NHL.
Hell
This
yeah.
mofo was playing in the NHL, Tony, when he was 50.
That's
Okay?
incredible. That's
50.
incredible.
And
Dude.
he was still kicking ass, dude. It was
Yep.
insane.
Yeah,
Gordie
it's
Howe.
incredible.
I would throw Mark Messier on that list.
Dude,
Tom
look at
Brady.
Justin Verlander, tomorrow's starter. Justin Verlander, 42 years old and looking good. Look good, feel good, play good, as Deion Sanders says. I mean, we'll see how Verlander does throughout the course of the season. But hey, I'll take what he's given so far, and
we're working for a living. Yeah. Tony, it's funny. You have a lot of demands today, like no Skinner, no Crew, and I already see there's like a lot of controversy. I saw Noemi saying, nope, Tony said no Skinner, so we can't do Skinner. Tony's got a lot of do's and don'ts apparently.
I just want people that's the easy route. Don't take the easy route. Challenge yourself.
Tony barks orders at people, and he was like, demanding the other day. He was like, get over to Blue Sky. God damn it. You guys got to get to Blue Sky. So I got to tell you, Tony, I actually went to Blue Sky. I want you to know. And I started interacting with guess who? My main man, Doug in Japan. Next thing you know, Doug and I got a little rapport. We're kicking shit back and forth. So shout out to Doug in Japan. Oh, also shout out to our first PMP presence in the state of Florida.
Nice.
I don't think I've seen any Florida presence prior to today. So I want to shout out our guy, Ryan Fong. Shout out Ryan Fong in Florida, bro.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Welcome aboard, Ryan. Great to have you on board. Any other elder statesman transcending age, or do we move on to the mailbag? You tell me.
Paulie, your guy. Your guy.
Oh, Brady. Rogers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the only problem with Rogers is he did look old last year. Like he had. You're right. Up until
not according to him, Paulie. Not according to him. According to him, he's still great. He just needs to like bathe in some rivers and eat some drink some ayahuasca tea, and
yeah,
there it is.
Hey, Mark Weisman reminded me too. Rogers now 41 years old. All kidding aside, do you think he plays in the NFL next year?
Definitely.
You do?
Definitely.
You better get off his ass and make a commitment to a team, because the Steelers are like, dude, anytime.
I think the Vikings might be the spot where he ends up, and I don't know.
If that happens, I just want to bounce this off you, this parallel, because it's too weird to be true.
Yeah.
If that happens, he will have followed the exact same path that former Packer great quarterback Brett Favre followed. He was a Packer, he was a Jet, and then he ended his career in Minnesota. Dude, isn't that wild? That could be the exact same path for Aaron Rodgers. Like, what are the odds of that? Packers,
Will he cheat a university out of money after he retires? Will he do that as well?
I could take it a step farther. And say, will he dig his well, I better not. I don't even want to. It's too. You know what though? Yeah, the less said about Brett Favre, maybe the better at this point.
Totally.
Hey, one other thing before the mailbag, Tony. I hate to say this. Did you see the Dodgers came back and won last night? Ohtani with a walk-off. Dude, they were roughing up Blake Snell. It was all going so great. And we were jumping up and down on the show. I'm like, yeah, they're kicking Snell's ass. And they were up, I think it was 5-2 Braves when I came on the air last night. And then I go back downstairs. It's a walk-off win for the Dodgers. Dude, they're 8-0. Holmes,
dude,
8-0.
I mean, it's brutal. But my buddy Pete Hoffman, locally here, Pete, he sent me a video this morning of Shohei walking to the plate. Everybody, they show the crowd, everybody getting out of their seats. I
know.
And it was a sight to behold. I hate saying it, but it was like, oh my God, man, what a stud. What
Do I
an
have to
incredible-
like Shohei? I don't want to like him. I don't want to like him.
No, you don't have to. But my response to Pete Hoffman immediately was PEDs. That's what I said, just as a joke.
Yeah,
just
good.
like,
Let's get some controversy on this guy. He already threw his interpreter in jail for gambling. I'm not
dude, where
letting him
there's
off the
smoke,
hook.
there's fire there, Paulie. Where there's smoke, there is absolute fire. Something's amok in that whole story that got swept under the rug, and he just let his buddy, that guy, his interpreter.
Speak the truth.
Well, he let his interpreter just kind of take everything.
Yeah, no, it wasn't me. It was this guy. It was this guy. He did it. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
Who freaking knows?
You'll never see that guy again. You'll never. He's in Pelican Bay right now. Making license plates.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
and meanwhile, so anyway, I don't want to like Shohei. I'll make you a compromise. I'll compromise.
Go.
I do like Mookie Betts. Okay, so if there's any Dodger I got to respect and not attack, it's going to be Mookie. So I want to dislike Shohei if that's okay with you. I'm asking permission.
I just
let me be petty. Paul.
I would love you for you to dislike Snell. I would love for you to I mean, it's crazy. We can't really dislike Gavin Lux anymore because he's on the Reds now. I saw his mug on the Reds. I'm like, oh, there's Gavin Lux.
Never forget my what do you give me for Gavin Lux and the kid that Mark Wahlberg picks up in the pickup truck in Boogie Nights when he's and he winds up getting his ass kicked by all those guys. But the first dude he picks up is like a 10 for Gavin Lux. I'm telling you, look into it.
That is a great call. No, that's a great call, Paul. It's a great call, but it's just I don't know. I feel like in the list of Dodgers to hate, Ohtani's one of the lower ones with Mookie Betts.
By the way, when Gavin Lux and all his buddies beat up Mark Wahlberg in Boogie Nights, the worst part of it is, dude, they humiliate him. They're all beating him up. It's not a fair fight at all. They get out of a pickup truck and they kick his ass, and then while they're beating him down, they go, "How do you like this, Donkey D?" Remember that they're calling him Donkey Dick while they're beating his ass. It's terrible. What a humiliating moment for Mark Wahlberg. You know what I'm saying? Tough moment for Mark. All right, Tony, on to the first ever installment of us opening up the PMP mailbag. Now, this is your creation. I'm going to let you take the reins and bring it to us, buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, like, I'm looking through the mailbag. I'm looking through our email box. And by the way, yes, at Paulie's Pod or Paulie'sPod at gmail.com if you'd like to email us. And I was like, we're getting some treats. Like, it started with Los sending us that picture, which I can share real quick again. This is Los with his Iceman t-shirt, paying his respects to Iceman. So that's Los. Look at that. I just love that photo.
That's a great shirt.
And that kind of sent me down the trail of like, oh, I'm gonna dig into the rest of the emails that we've gotten. And please, Paulie'sPod at gmail.com. Send them on over. My buddy Mark Wiseman sent a great picture, which I'm gonna try and find in a second here, where he put a Longbridge pizza and a PMP Army sticker in his classroom at Gunn High School in Palo Alto. So he sent me a picture saying every student that comes in his classroom is getting some PMP Army and Longbridge love.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But here, so Leah Phillips, we love Leah. She sent us some pizza porn earlier this morning.
Oh, good.
But no, we saw that. But she also.
Oh, you mean the text? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
She sent Paulie and I some pizza porn, which is great. We'll save that tomorrow for Longbridge. But she sent this earlier as we talk about gnomes. Do you remember the gnome story we had about possibly the unspoken message, the silent message that you might be a swinger in San Carlos is if you leave a gnome out in front of your house.
I love it, man.
And so Leah sent this. If I had a garden, this is the first thing I would buy, and it's a gnome. Do you see the big flat blunt in his
He's flipping the bird. It's beautiful. The whole thing, top to bottom. Yeah.
So thank you, Leah. That is keep it coming.
Thanks,
and
Leah Phillips.
Hey, for those that have gnomes, more power to you. Swing away.
Hey, may your weekends be eventful. Yes, good luck to you. Hey, you never know. Maybe the right person knocks on your door. You're like, damn, the gnome really paid off. Yeah.
Right. Swing for the fences, Paulie. I don't know what else to tell you.
Although you don't want that guy showing up like at the beginning of Old School when what's his face comes home and Juliette Lewis is having she's having a gangbang at the house, and they open the door and the guy goes, "Yeah, I'm here for the gangbang." It's like that's what you're not looking for, is that cat showing up in his members only jacket and the perm. Yeah, you don't want that guy. No, I don't.
That's a great call. That's a great call, dude. That scene is outrageous, man.
By the way, that's Todd Phillips, that guy who comes in the door and he's the director. Yeah, he does all those movies.
Great call. Todd Phillips did a great fish movie, Bittersweet Motel. So here we go.
I didn't know he did that. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. By the way, who's going to induct Fish in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Tony, go.
I was going to pose that as a show question next week. That's a great question.
You tell me who you'd like. Who should?
Oh boy, I would like somebody like Springsteen or somebody like Bob Weir.
I think
you
you're
know,
gonna. I would love that, but I'm gonna make a call. I think they're gonna pluck one of your younger generation guys that's been influenced by fish. I bet you my guy Rick Mototaramba, whatever the hell his name is, the guy from Goose, he'll be up there. That's my call. They're gonna take that kid because he's like the next in line. My only problem with that guy, he's too, and I do like him. I saw him play with Phil. But he's a little too influenced by Trey Anastasio for me.
he's
Like
a
the
big
exact
Trey
same
guy.
guitar.
Yeah.
The same kind of style. I'm like, Holmes, I appreciate it, but like, give me some of you. Give me some of you.
Yeah,
If I want Trey, I'll go over and watch Trey. I want some of you. Anyway, I like the kid, but a little too Trey heavy for me right
Are
now.
you burning for you? If I was like, I'm burning for you.
So yeah.
So, but Paulie, yes, I hope they don't go in that direction. I would feel like they would go with people that inspired them.
That'd be cool. Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's what I would hope. By the way, I'm a field trip for you and I, Paulie, at the end of May. I'm taking you to Goose at the Masonic Auditorium. So just know that
Nice.
you're
I love
going
the
to that.
Masonic.
Yeah.
I want to talk about fish, y'all. I hope it is Bobby with his like freaking cape on, dude. The cowboy hat, looking like a prospector. A couple things about Trey and Paige, y'all. You know, let him get up there. Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Maybe Neil Young. I know they love Neil Young. I don't know.
It's funny you mentioned Springsteen because Springsteen has
Trey
played with
Springsteen.
them.
Yeah,
And they've been on stage a couple times, with each other.
Yeah,
So.
Trey is a big fan of Springsteen, and so I would love. How about a Bruce and Bobby like tag team on stage? Let's go.
Take it away, boss. Yeah.
Totally.
I'll leave it to you, Bruce. Hey, Bruce, come on out here, y'all. All right, Tony, give me the more of the mailbag. I want some more.
Yeah, I'll give you this. This is the aspiring botanist, and
Holy S.
also known as
Holy
Hunter.
S.
Hold on, Paulie, before you get to this. He said that he took this picture while he was out looking, checking the cameras on the mountains for mountain lions.
No, he's not kidding. This is my guy. I know this guy. This is Hunter. This is my dude. He lives in my neighborhood up here in San Rafael.
Dude, look at the flowing locks on Hunter, by the way. Look at the head of hair on that guy.
I got a what do you give me for on this dude? I've been wanting to call out forever. Now that we can all see him, here it comes. You ready, Tony? What do you give me for my guy, the aspiring botanist, who I actually know? I can't believe that's the aspiring botanist. I didn't know that till today. Nice. What do you give me for this dude right here? And Jay Lane from Dead and Company on drums.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call.
I've been seeing it for years. This kid is really, really cool. He's a music lover. He lives right up the street from me here in San Rafael. And he does stuff in Marin with the wildlife. I'm not sure what his actual job is, but he showed me a picture that was taken by a stationary camera of a mountain lion up in this neighborhood where I live here in San Rafael. Dude, I'm not exaggerating when I say it was almost the size of like a small tiger. This thing was effing huge, and it made me kind of nervous because, like, if you're hiking up in those hills, which are all around this area, like you cross paths with like one of those big ass mountain lions. I don't know what to do. Like
I always carry a big stick. Not that it would save
like,
me.
what's that going to do? Right?
But it would at least I could just feel like I had a chance.
You get a couple shots in, a couple pokes.
Yeah. But he also said
before he rips your innards out and eats lunch, you at least get a couple of jabs in. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, if that's the way I'm meant to go, I guess that's the way I'm meant to go. But the aspiring botanist also said that he's out there looking for polymac pumas. And by the way, Leah Phillips, I didn't notice this until she pointed this out on the comment line.
Yeah.
He's got the 3 fingers up, and I believe it, but that must be a Tony's Top 3 tribute. So
you're damn right it is. Tony's Top 3. Regs, how do you do that? Regs, send me a picture into the email box of you doing the Tony's Top 3 again. I forget. It's very confusing. It's
like that. Something like that.
I don't know. Regs is
something like that. Something like that. I don't know.
But anyway, aspiring botanist, great to see you, brother. Great to see you, man.
Hell yeah. I want to say this is our guy Aaron Kask. I mentioned this the other day.
Yeah.
He sent this in.
Need that.
He said, I wanted you guys to see my Black Sabbath t-shirt. Look at that shirt. And it looks like it's close to the font of Master of Reality. The album cover.
I was going to say I think it's closer to the font on volume 4.
Actually, you're right. You're right. It is volume 4.
And only black belts like us can even have that conversation. No, it reminds me of volume 4, but it does. And I need that shirt, bro. Aaron Kask, my compliments, dude. Seriously, I love the shirt. I need one. I used to see those Grateful Dead shows.
By the way, speaking, we got to maybe get the bummer bracket, Paulie. We got to get to the bummer bracket.
And Bonta Hill is still scrolling by at the bottom. He ain't going to wait forever.
Well, I kept the scroll on for you. I hope it's not annoying everybody else.
It's the best. It's the greatest thing you've done all week. I love it.
But in case you weren't aware, Bonta Hill is joining us very soon. But Aaron Kask also said he sent in his argument for why vasectomy should have advanced in the bummer bracket,
Yeah.
because he talks about getting into stirrups, and he talks about in the middle of his procedure, the doctor stopping and asking him, "Hey, do you want to see the tube? Do you want to see the
No,
tube?"
I don't want to
dude?"
see the fucking
Aaron's
tube.
like,
No, I don't
"What
even want to
the
be
hell?"
here.
I will
No.
say, though, cool thing too, though, is the excuse me, is the doctor's assistant or the nurse was actually asked Aaron, "Hey, what type of music do you want to listen to during this procedure?" And he's like, "What the hell? What kind of question is that? I didn't think I'd be able to listen to music." And I think he chose some chill Dave Matthews Band. So a great story, Aaron. Thanks for the email. Keep it coming. And yes,
Tony, I have an
Sabbath.
issue. I have a quick issue,
Go.
and then I want to jump right into the brackets after this because I don't want to keep the Bonta piece waiting too long. Well, I see a new name. I don't think I've seen the name Patrick Patton before, but welcome aboard, Patrick. If you're a regular, I'm sorry I haven't caught you in the past. But
also, Paulie, I haven't seen Palos Adventures or Palos Adventures. I haven't seen that before either.
I got Palos Adventures. I got Patrick Patton. I got my guy Ryan Fong down there in Florida. Everyone's checking in. But Patrick is asking a legitimate question. He goes, "Guys, I do want to email stuff in, but give me the address." Can you scroll that address, Tony?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if I can scroll it right now because we have the actual other scroll going on. paulyspod@gmail.com, but I'll put on the screen as well.
Thank you.
paulyspod@gmail.com. If I can just find the actual banner.
Find your way back. Jefferson Starship, find your way back. Do it.
Find your way back. To a heart? Is it
to a home, Tony? To a home.
Oh, well, then you can't use that tomorrow either. Sorry.
So, damn. Is there anything we can do, Tony? Is there anything I can? Am I allowed to leave my own house today with your blessing? Is that okay?
I'd rather you not, actually.
Okay, I got you, buddy.
I'd rather you not.
I like angry Tony.
This is a quick one, and I wanted to give Marcel some love too. He sent us, dude. Marcel makes his own custom golf club covers. That is a House of Prime Rib golf club cover.
You got to be serious about your cuts meat, dude, to represent on your clubs. You got to be serious about like the King Henry VIII cut. You know what I'm saying?
Is that incredible? I mean, House of Prime Rib golf club cover. So I'm going to talk to Marcel on the side and pay him to make a couple of golf club covers. And I want to also shout out the Lego Mona Lisa in the background.
That's what I wanted to get to. That's what I wanted to. That's insane looking, bro. Look at the Mona Lisa. Is that what that is? Legos for real?
Yes, that's Legos, dude. Great job, Marcel.
This is my guy, Marcel. I love our audience too. We got some weirdos, and I'm one of them myself, man. A Lego Mona Lisa. You got my respect. Tony, thank you for the email address. So do we go?
Bet.
Quick brackets.
Thank you all. Thank you all for sending stuff in. Keep it coming. I want
Mailbag. Mailbag is going to be a regular segment going forward. So, like Tony said, all your contributions, send them in. Yep.
And Paulie, like I tell my kids when they're drawing or making artwork, I said, "There's no bad art. There's no bad email. There's no wrong email. Send it. Send it. Send it. Bring it on." That's all I'm saying. By the way,
Don Peralta asking Marcel for a Paulie pizza Lego. That's on the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's all kinds of possibilities here.
Paulie pizza Lego or a Paulie pizza club cover, golf club cover. How about
with this guy holding the J with my hat? Yeah, dude. You know what I like too? It's everything about that makes me laugh. That is crazy.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's just fantastic. So the wink, and I love that you're winking.
You got to wink. Enjoy your pie. Here's a wink for you. Yeah, no question. All right, Tony. Brackets and then Bonta.
Yes, let's go brackets. Let me get the bracket up here. So stand by. If you could just be patient, bear with me, Paulie. As
brackets, arrow, Bonta. While you're pulling it up, I want to take this opportunity once again to remind everybody we are not going at high noon tomorrow. We're going to do a special post game broadcast, probably the only time all year we'll do that, but it's a 4:30 p.m. start tomorrow. After we assume the Giant game should be over by then, so we'll look forward to seeing you at 4:30. Where do you want to attack today? You want to start right up top?
I think we got to go right into torn Achilles versus vasectomy after I told you what Aaron Kask sent me about his vasectomy.
Sure.
And I mean, that story alone and my story, I feel like it should advance, but the torn Achilles is basically months and months of recovery.
If not more, but
if not more. And then you're never the same. And you're never going to run with confidence the same way that you used to run because you're going to worry about snapping the other one, dude. You know?
Big T. It's good that we're doing brackets today because I just want to remind everybody, March Madness is back in action tonight too. You got Nova playing USC, UCF, Cincinnati. So all the games are back in action tonight. So it's a good time for us to dive into the brackets. Let's get into it.
Dude, by the way, I had the Final Four on Saturday, dude. I need Duke. So I think you're talking women's hoops, Paulie, because Duke, the Final Four is on Saturday, and I need Duke to win it all, and I win my my pick'em pool. So Duke Blue Devils.
There aren't men's games tonight.
No. Final Four is on Saturday, and then you got the championship.
Oh, you're right. I am
Monday.
looking at the wrong bracket. My bad.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
all good, dude. All good, man.
All right.
Give the women's bracket some love too, because Lady Bruins, the UCLA Lady Bruins, are on fire. They beat LSU. So
that was a great game. Yeah, great game. All right, Tony, will you begin? I'm going to let you start with Achilles and vasectomy. You've been in the stirrups. I haven't. Go ahead.
And I remembered one other line from Aaron Kask's email that he said when he was getting the procedure done, he could see the images of unborn children that he would never be able to have, like
screaming. Yeah, in horror. Yeah.
I thought that was
fleeing for their lives. Yeah.
So I would say vasectomy, but there's a lot of people saying torn Achilles. I've seen comments for torn Achilles. I think based on the recovery, dude. So I think, Aaron, as much as we love your story and my story, and both of us, dude, how many dudes can relate to being in stirrups? I think we got to go torn Achilles. Paulie, your thoughts?
I'm gonna go ahead and second that. Torn Achilles is no picnic. I've seen it up close. It's brutal. And by the way, shout out Lily Merchant out of nowhere with the drive-by. FUCLA out of nowhere. You got it, Lily. Hey, Lily Merchant kind of stole the show at the Longbridge party last week. She had that crew sitting right up there in that front table, but under the TV by the door. Yeah, I was like, they had some gangster. They just had a presence about them that was really great. Don't sleep on Lily Merchant's posse. I'm just throwing it out there.
I love that.
She rolls thick with her friends, and I like it.
So, dude, okay, Dom, if you're still with us today, if you could advance torn Achilles, and torn Achilles will face the winner of root canal versus couples therapy, and I want
to get involved on this one because I've got experience with both. I've got extensive experience with both.
Same with me.
Right. Again, as I shout out the virtues of my dentist, and if I can turn other people onto this guy, it's worth it. Dr. Matt Young, San Francisco, right down there in Union Square. Not only is he, by the way, monster Giant fan. I've had procedures in his chair where I've listened to Giants baseball with the headphones on while he's digging in my mouth, doing all his stuff. Great dentist, does great work. I've been seeing him for years, and he'll break out the gas. He'll give you the headphones. What do you like, Pink Floyd? Here it comes. Bam. One time he asked me, he goes, what do you want to listen to today? And I go, you got any Stones? And he goes, no problem. And then he came back with the headphones. Nice. Boom, and I got like a Rolling Stones playlist. So
that's whole part of the experience, man. Seriously, that's a great job by the doc, because that's a whole part of the experience, and it makes you want to come back. It's kind of like how Neil at Longbridge makes the music a part of the experience at Longbridge. You know what I'm saying?
Now it's Tony. Without question. But here's the thing. So Dr. Matt Young makes it almost like a pleasurable experience, which is crazy because I used to have like a major dentist phobia before I met this guy, but he puts you at ease. So I got to go, dude, the absolute horrors of couples therapy that I experienced without anybody making any real solid progress. It just kind of amplifies the fights. I got to say, like, you're paying somebody to fight in front of. It's like, here's $300 for the hour. Sit back and watch us go to work here. And then we just start going at each other. So no, I'm going to say, I'm going to advance couples therapy as the
and Paulie, on that note.
Yes.
On that note, what makes it worse too is when you walk into couples therapy, they're not saying, hey, what kind of music do you want to have on in the background while you fight with each other?
No, they're saying, hey, I hope you guys have a good time tonight because you won't be speaking to each other on the ride home. Yeah. You know what I mean?
To Scarlet Fire's point in the comment line, they don't give you drugs when you walk into couples therapy.
They should. If they'd only bring out the gas tanks, wouldn't that be great? It'd probably make everything so much better.
Or like mandatory puff of a J before you dive in.
It would be like this, dude. Would you guys like gas today? Yes, I would. And he's like, start huffing the gas, like. And then I'd be looking over at her like, you know what? You're really beautiful, actually. Like, why are we fighting? You know, it'd probably solve all the problems like within 5 seconds. So yes, we should incorporate that to couples therapy. Let's advance couples therapy.
Couples therapy has advanced, facing torn Achilles next in the Elite Eight, dude. That's a hell of a match.
That's a grudge match. That's an effing grudge match.
Hell of a matchup. Xfinity, AT&T, Comcast versus the oven mitts of baseball. And I know how I feel.
You
about
take
this
it.
one,
Take it.
It's not even a contest for me. It's oven mitts all damn day for me. Oven mitts, because of the ridiculousness that and Ellie De La Cruz doing 2 oven mitts now. Double mitts. Double mitts. But the fact that he's going double mitts takes the mitts and wins it. I don't know if anybody disagrees with me, but yeah, oven mitts.
What if he has like an itch on his back? Can you scratch your back with oven mitts on, Tony?
I think you just got to spank yourself with the mitt. I don't know what else you would do.
Can we incorporate the sliding mitts into our lovemaking sessions? Is that possible?
Well, you know what I mean? That's creative.
Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah, right.
Now you're getting somewhere.
Yeah. Now we're starting to think.
Oven mitts all day, Paulie. Now you take SFG New City, the Giants New City Connect jerseys, which are just freaking god awful. This is a good matchup against digital tickets. No ticket stubs.
I got this one. The problem is, like, both of these, and regardless of how I feel about them, even if I don't like the Giant City Connects, I'm still going to watch the games. And even though I hate digital tickets guts, I'm still going to buy them because that's the only way to get into a show these days. But unfortunately, like, the biggest downfall of digital tickets, or the biggest negative is attached to that, it could be a Giants ticket, could be a Niner ticket, could be a Grateful Dead ticket, is that you have no more souvenir of the event. Like, you can't.
Right. That's what I can't. Yeah.
You go to an NFC Championship game, which I did. Like, I still have that stub. Like, I'm like, damn, I saw an NFC Championship. Or
and you can pull it out, dude. I have books of ticket stubs. They make books to slide your ticket stub in. How am I going to slide a barcode in? How am I going to, you know what I mean? How am I going to slide it? Oh, whatever.
And I have like World Series ticket stubs that I was at these games like with my kids when they were little. And I got to be honest, they're meaningful to me. Those are like, those are kind of sentimental tokens of that time. So the fact that you can't do that anymore really bums me out. You have no memento of the occasion unless you go to the merch stand and buy some stuff. But like, the ticket stub had a real place for sentimentality, and that's gone now. So I'm going to advance digital tickets as just being a worst crime of the two.
Beautiful.
Because the City Connect things, I'll stomach it. I only got to see it once a week. But these things, digital tickets, they're here to stay, and they really bum me out. So,
all right. So advance digital tickets. Advance the digital tickets. And Dom, thank you for doing this. And by the way, it's not even confirmed that those are the new City Connects. We haven't seen them on the field yet. So but I assume those are the ones. And the outrage that's going to happen probably from people. I don't know. 40 and older, 35 and older, 30. I don't know. I'm sure the kids are gonna be like, dude, those are sick, bro. Dude, yeah, bro. Purple.
Dude, you want to see
purple?
Right. What traditional Giants color? Purple, right?
Yeah. Who cares about tradition? I mean, whatever. Screw tradition. Who cares anymore? You know, whatever. So I'm gonna refresh this bracket. So the Elite Eight. We'll do the other side of the bracket tomorrow. Is that cool, Pete?
Sure. Yeah, it sounds great. Sounds great, man.
So we have in the Elite Eight, couples therapy versus torn Achilles, and sliding oven mitts versus digital tickets. That's two great matchups. Tomorrow we'll do Dallas Cowboys versus Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, tough one.
Dude, Patrick Mahomes is quite the theme in this whole bracket. The Mahomes flop/slide versus Nick Sirianni.
Oh, that's a hell of a matchup. Go ahead.
And then we'll have our Elite Eight will be done. And then we can move on to Dodgers fans versus Brittany Mahomes and to start the Elite Eight and go from there.
I'm hoping that Brittany Mahomes faces her husband in the finals for the worst bummer like matchup of all time. Like, because both of them are hard to stomach, and they're going to continue to advance. Anytime I see the name Mahomes, that's a win for that guy being the worst of any two possible choices.
It's so brutal, dude. It bums me out, man. It just bums me out. So
well, here's something.
That's why it's called the bummer bracket, dude.
Exactly. And again, the theme is you take the worst of the two possible choices. You got to go with the one that's worse of the two. Now, a lot of preamble today, had a good time, but we're getting ready for the main event, and that is Bonta Hill, pre and post game host of Golden State Warrior basketball, NBC Sports Bay Area. You watch them every night. We'll be watching them tonight, setting the stage for the Laker game, working alongside Chris Mullen and Festus Ezeli. We had a scheduling thing, so we actually had to tape the Bonta interview. We did that last night. So we got it all queued up, ready to rock and roll. And I guess, Tony, we're going to say goodbye now because this thing goes on for quite a while.
Yes,
so
this is good.
And it's a good piece. So at the end of the Bonta Hill piece, that'll be it for today. And then again, final reminder, y'all, and thanks for all your contributions in the mailbag. We do appreciate that. And thank you for all your supers. We love you guys. We love all of you. But thank you for you supers, especially for helping trying to advance the show forward. And it helps. Everything helps. So, Tony, Bonta Hill discussion, end of the show, and then tomorrow, one final reminder, 4:30 p.m. start after the game. We're going to do our only post-game show of the year since it is our home opener. And Tony will do the musical assignment, and the particle pick is going to be reintroduced, reimagined tomorrow. I got something special coming your way. So a lot of cool shit on a Friday as we get you ready for your weekend. And Tony, final thoughts from you, and then throw it to Bonta, buddy.
I just want to say, Los will be giving you love at the end of the show with Flex Funding, and thank you for your support, and thank you everybody for the supers and for the mailbag, and keep it coming. pollyspod@gmail.com. And again, tomorrow, the home opener happy hour at 4:30. Join us. It'll be fun. We'll make sure it's fun. We could toast. I was going to tell Corinne earlier to pour yourself that Manhattan. And anybody, just get your weekend started 4:30 after hopefully a Justin Verlander win and Giants W at Oracle Park.
And my final comment, I should be doing this more often, but again, the brain damage is significant. You know where I'm at. I got to tell you, I just want to shout out our other brothers in BASC Goodness, the Bay Area Sports Collective, our new network that we launched. Shout out to Tom Tolbert. The guy's posting up killer shows. Kevin Franson, on and on he goes with his backyard conversations. Ray Ratto, Steve Young. He's done some awesome stuff. He's Tom Tolbert. That's all you got to say. Number 2, Johnny Lund. Jumping Johnny Lund with the vibe, the smile, the laughter. He's posted. That guy's a madman. He is like the James Brown of the Bay Area Sports Collective.
Dude, he was in Sacramento yesterday at the A's game.
He can't be Sacramento. He's in Sacramento.
By the way,
he's down at Levi Stadium. This kid, he's all over the state. Yeah.
He posted something yesterday that his 2 beers and a whatever snack it was more expensive than his game ticket. How about that?
Well, they're not. I mean, listen, they're going to be giving those seats away soon up in Sacramento because they're not. Yeah.
Polly, FJF. If we talk PMP, then we'll talk FJF. And if you know what that means,
of course,
you know what that means. Yes. FJF. That's all. That's what I gotta say.
F. John Fisher.
Yes. F. John Fisher for life, dude. So that's all I got. The Bonta Hill coming up next.
Okay, y'all enjoy your afternoon and enjoy this conversation with Warriors pre and post game host Bonta Hill. Cheers, y'all. This is going to be really cool. Polymax Particles continues onward and upward, always an upward trajectory over here in the particle community. And I got to tell you, this is going to be really cool. I'm very happy to bring in our next guest. You know him, you love him, you see him every damn night on NBC Sports Bay Area, doing his pre and post game with the Golden State Warriors, Festus Ezeli, Chris Mullin, Bonta Hill, and we are bringing him in. Now, we go back a long way with Bonta, so it's going to be great to catch up, Tony. This is our guy. He's old school. He's an original G. And let's welcome him for the very first time to Polymax Particles. He is that golden voiced. Yeah, look at my guy, dude. Look at Bonta. That's what I'm talking about. Bonta, great to see you, my friend. And thanks for coming on today. How you doing, Bonta?
Dude, Polymax, Tony Ryan. There's not too many people who could just put a smile on my face without saying too many words, right? I'm telling you, man, back in the day with Polymax, Murph, Tanika, Pecan. I never laughed so much at KBR. I swear to God. And then Tony Ryan said, hey, come in here. Voice of commercials, man. You got a good voice.
Yeah.
Beat me up all the time. Never gave me a compliment whatsoever. But I still went that room, Paulie, for the tough love I needed.
No. It's funny. Now, a lot of people might know the career origins of Bonta Hill in the Bay Area media landscape. So I'll give it to you in like 10 seconds. When we were doing the Murph and Mac show years ago, we would have occasional kind of fill-in people join the crew. And Bonta was one of those guys. As a young man, he would sit in on the show. He would guest book. He would produce occasionally. And we always got along great. Like when Bonta would come in, Tony, I would be like, dude, this is going to be good today. We got Bonta.
Yep.
And then I would say, and I would always say this to all of our guests, because you know the way we like to incorporate everybody, Bonta. I would say, dude, get that mic open because you're going to be part of the show today. And that's kind of where we kind of first joined forces. And now to watch your trajectory, Bonta, listen, I'm so proud of you. Everything that you have accomplished is well-deserved, bro. You're great at what you do. You've become like a really trusted voice of the Golden State Warriors. So congrats on your success, bro. And let's talk about it. Like, what's it like for you going to work every night with Chris Mullin and Festus Ezeli? That's not a bad gig, bro.
No, it's not a bad gig at all, right? I'm watching basketball with a Hall of Famer who has become one of my best friends, Chris Mullin and Festus Ezeli. And they're both different, right? We start with Chris Mullin. We all grew up watching Mully, original member of the Dream Team, and the respect he garners all across the league for celebrities who come into town. And he's just one of us. He's a bro. He's like, yo, Bonta, let's watch the game. Yo, let's go across the street. Let's eat. Yo, Bonta, what you doing? He'll call me randomly. Yo, what are you doing? Where's baby Chaz at? He's asking about my daughter. I'm like, Bully, what's up, man?
Yeah.
And it's for real. Sometimes I try to pinch myself saying, how the hell did I come into this seat? Like, I feel like my career, I've been so blessed. I've been around Paulie Mack. I've been around Murph. I've been around Tony Ryan. I've been around Tom Tolbert. Got to work with Greg Papa, the great Marty Lurie. I mean, just all these levels. And I'm sitting there going to work like, working with Mully, and he's breaking down basketball to me. And then whenever he's like, Bonta, you made a great point about this. I'm like, wait a minute. How did I make a great point? I don't know anything about that.
Right.
That's this who's becoming like this generation's Donald Foyle. Donald Foyle for all his community work, the beloved Warrior. And Fezzi was only a Warrior for what, 3-4 seasons? Won a championship. But the way he's embraced our community and the way he has fun watching the game, getting excited about it, I feel like we got a great crew over there at NBC. So, going into work every day, talking dubs with Mully and Fezzi, it doesn't get much better than that. I have nothing to complain about whatsoever. If I complain about it, Tony, we see him on the street, just trip me. So I'm like, dude, wake up, bro. Relax.
Yeah.
Hey, but Bonta, we're big on the vibe. We're big on vibes on this show, man. And the vibe you guys put forth on TV is unmatched, man. Because like you just talked about, you guys aren't just like colleagues, you're buddies. And it comes through on TV, man. You guys really are having a really good time. And I remember I ran into you with my son at the Warrior game, and you grabbed my son, took him under your wing. You're like, come here. And then Mully took my son under his wing. Nice. And I was like, this is what it's all about, man. And Bonta, I just got to say, to go back a second, you mentioned in the beginning, you did come into my studio because I was like, dude, those pipes. I need those pipes.
The man's got pipes. This is not
airwaves.
This is not really worth arguing about. It's a fact. Bonta's got pipes. We know.
And
this.
I was like, get in here, get in the studio. We're gonna start reading some scripts. We're gonna get you on the freaking mic, dude. And I don't know how many years ago that was, but dude, look at you now, man. Congratulations on the whole career arc, dude. And how are you feeling? Of course, we're recording this after Steph goes off for 52, drops 12 threes.
We're gonna get into that, believe me.
Bonta, how are you feeling about the Dubs as they round out the home stretch here in 2025?
I feel a lot better about the Dubs now than I did before the All-Star break. And I was one of those guys saying, hey, just stand pat, wait till the off-season, maybe make a move. And there was a Monday night game, I think it was February 3rd against Orlando Magic at home. They ended up winning the game, but fans were leaving midway through the third quarter. It was as boring, as stale as any game I've seen in the last decade with the Dubs. And I said, oh, boy, they may have to do something. Now, I didn't think that move was Jimmy Butler because of what happened with the Godfather, Pat Riley. You take him off. Like, all right, this dude. Nobody pisses off Pat Riley, but the Warriors make the bold move. And it was really the only move they had to make, right? Because nobody really wanted to come here. And they make that move. And I can't believe how seamless it's been with Jimmy Butler and how they just started rolling. I mean, when he came aboard, they were in 10th place in the Western Conference. As we see here record, they're in 5th place, a couple games behind the Lakers. They're looking great. So, yes, the vibe is great with the Dubs. I feel good about them. I don't know if they're going to win a championship. I don't know if they're advancing to the NBA Finals. The West is loaded with talent. There's so many great teams. OKC, Denver, the Lakers, Clippers are playing well. I mean, it's a who's who, right? It's all dependent on the matchups. But they have a puncher's chance because of number 30. And number 30 now has a sidekick in Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green is playing out of his mind. He's turning back the clock. He's barking. He's chirping. He's grabbing rebounds. He's dropping dimes. It's the full Draymond Green experience. So I feel good, especially because they're bringing along youngsters. Moses Moody, Brandon Pajitsky making winning plays. This Quentin Post guy who just lets it fly from 3. I mean, come on, man. And then Keith Santos, kind of our JTA of this season.
Nice.
I mean, look, I think they have a puncher's chance to do a lot of damage in the Western Conference. What does that mean? Does it mean the championship? I have no idea. But I don't think anybody's going to want to see the Warriors in a 7-game series, knowing that Steph is playing at this level.
No, I agree, Bonta. And I'll tell you this. Now, we had Bob Fitzgerald on I think it was last week, and I asked Bob this question. I want to bounce this off you too, Bonta, because I agree with you. First of all, getting this group into the postseason, I mean, they're a 5 seed now, and now they own the tiebreaker over Memphis, and they own the tiebreaker over Minnesota. So that win last night did them a lot of good.
Huge.
Now, coming up, more tough games. Denver coming up, and then the Lakers this weekend. So I guess I want to ask you this, Bonta. If there's one concern I have with the Warriors, it's how do they match size and physicality, specifically with Denver? Because The last Nuggets game, Joker didn't even play, but Aaron Gordon, dude, he was throwing his weight around in the paint, and he kind of dominated. He dominated under the basket. So that's my one concern. Obviously, they can shoot, they can pass. They do have some size now with Quentin Post, but I worry a little bit about how they can contend with bigger, more physical teams. Bonta, what is your read of that?
Yeah, no, you're spot on, Paulie Mac, because that's my concern. And I think that's ultimately what may do them in the postseason is the lack of size, because Quentin Post, yes, he's a center, but he plays on the 3-point line. And defensively, he's kind of getting that crash course experience where teams are hunting him defensively and kind of playing him off the floor. Kevon Looney, I love Loon. I'm wearing the Loon dog shirt right now.
Dude. Hey, dude, he hit another 3 last night.
Let it fly, Loon.
Another one.
Bully, I've been telling him, let it fly. I watch him in pregame warm-ups. He's hitting sounds like Loon. Go ahead and chuck a couple threes. Why not? He's finally got the green light in threes. But, he's good for 15, 20 minutes a game, right? You know what he's going to do. He's going to be on some nights he's not going to be on. So, yes, I'm concerned about the size too, because not only is it the center position, but think about where Jimmy Butler plays in the mid-block, down there on the post. When teams like Miami, they put Bam Adebayo on them. Orlando put Paolo Banchero and Jonathan Isaac, and they put bigger guys on him to negate his free throw shooting, because that's what's really made him a secret weapon for the Dubs, getting to the free throw line. What was he, 12 for 12 against Memphis? He had a quiet 27, 6 and 4. But if you put a bigger guy on him, like Aaron Gordon that you just mentioned, Paulie Mac, who got 38 points in that game, and he was able to guard Jimmy Butler like he did in the NBA Finals a couple seasons ago. Now it's set to keep Jimmy Butler off the free throw line. And what does that mean for the spacing of the squad? So what's going to happen is, you're going to need Draymond to hit threes. You're going to need GP2 to hit threes, or at least shoot those threes. But size is going to be an issue, and I think that's something that gets addressed this offseason, because how long can you go without the size in the block when you got the Joker? You got Windham coming next season in San Antonio. Dallas has got big trees. The Lakers will go to the paint with LeBron James and Luka. So Minnesota's got, Julius Randle and Naz Reid, who's a Warriors killer. So that size could do them in the West. Now, your best defense is probably going to have to be your offense. You're going to have to let it fly and score at will and put pressure on opponents there by scoring the ball at will. But I think size is going to be a big-time concern, because you mentioned Joker. They haven't beat Denver, what was it, 2022 in the regular season. Now, they beat them that year in the postseason, but 9 straight regular season losses to the Nuggets. And as you mentioned, no Murray, no Jokic, no Brown in that last game. They're a problem, man. And that's a big-time concern, Paulie Mac. That's my biggest concern moving forward as well.
Hey, Bonta, so the Dubs they're at the Lakers, and they're home for Denver and Houston. And of those 3 teams, those are the teams that the Dubs are looking up at in the West. I want to know, because of course OKC is OKC. I kind of put them out of the conversation right now because they're just kind of on another planet. But of those 3, Houston, Lakers, Denver, what teams of those 3 kind of scares you the most in the postseason?
I think it's Denver. Even though they don't have the depth that the Lakers may have, but it's the Joker, man. The dude just dropped a 61-point triple-double, man.
Ridiculous. No, the guy's a freak. I don't know.
Dude, 61-point triple-double like it's nothing, right? He's dragging Westbrook and Chris, right? And then you got Jamal Murray, who becomes a different animal in the postseason. Kind of like Jimmy Butler, where they kind of just rolling through the regular season, cruising, cruise control, driving 60 miles an hour in the fast lane. You're like, dude, get the hell out of the way. Then in the postseason, all of a sudden it's like, wait, this dude's dropping 30 burgers, 40 burgers? What is going on here? So Denver scares me the most. I'm intrigued with the Lakers, because we haven't seen them yet with Luka Doncic on that roster. And Austin Reeves is playing at a high level. So I put them number 2, the Lakers. They got to beat the Lakers. I think when it comes to these next 2 games, I would prefer to win the Laker game, just to send them a message in case they see them in the first round. And then obviously Houston, they don't have the experience. They got a bunch of hardheads and Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet. Doak is a loose screw. They would just chuck shots up. They don't have any jump shooters. Give me the Rockets in the first round. I think everybody wants the Rockets. But I would fear out of those 3 teams, Tony, it'd be Denver number 1.
And just to follow that up, sorry, Bolly, just to follow that up, Bonta, maybe you have an answer for this, because Paulie and I don't. Why do the refs let Steph get his ass beat every single game?
Last night, dude, John Morant pushing Steph. John Morant from behind, jacking Steph to the ground, no whistle. Like, what the hell?
I just don't. It's something I'll never understand, Bonta. Can you help us out here, please?
No, I don't understand it either. Listen, I have a problem with officiating in all leagues. I think they're awful in all leagues. I think they're getting worse by the day. And it's a trickle-down effect. I go to junior college games. The refs are terrible. You go to high school games, like, damn, how do you blow that call? Jalen Wells and John Morant is mugging Steph courtside.
All night.
Durant with some sauce in his hands, pointing left and right. And Mark Davis, who's the elite crew. Trust me, I did a deep dive of all these bios with these. You guys should check this out. They have officials' bios, right? And it's like Mark Davis, and I call this guy Gucci Man. He looks like the rapper Gucci Man, James Williams. But they got these bios, right? And like 75% of these officials, like, what is your favorite place to travel? Italy. What? It's like they got these default bios, so you don't really get any intel on them.
Right.
They're all criminals to me, man. They're terrible. And so Steph gets mugged left and right, and I just don't know. And that's why, another good point, Tony, about your question about who do you fear? The Lakers, if you play them down in Hollywood, they're going to get a favorable whistle. How many years have we watched the Lakers? It's not just the free throw attempts, it's the timing of the calls. You on a run and they'll stop it, throw you a technical, slow the game down, get somebody in foul trouble. So I don't know why Steph is officiated this way. You see him with scratches, you see him with cuts on his eye. It's ridiculous.
Hey,
and he's the face of the league. Why would you want to protect him?
But when you watch, I know you watch a lot of the games with Mully and Festus in the studio. So when you're watching it with two former players, do they have the same reaction as us people that haven't played in the NBA, or is it not as much?
No, the players kind of just look saying like, it is what it is. Like Mully's like, look, when you're a jump shooter, you're probably not going to get the benefit of the doubt when you're shooting threes a lot like Steph Curry is. And he's attempted 12 to 13 to 15 threes. Then finally, when he drives, officials may swallow that whistle. So Mully, he's old school. He's New York. He's Brooklyn, Flatbush Avenue. He doesn't. That stuff doesn't phase him.
Dude, he used to Mully used to take a subway from Brooklyn. He used to go up to the Bronx and play up there, and those are some tough playgrounds, man. So Mully survived that shit. He's not phased by what he's seeing out there.
He's not phased at all. The brothers let him play in those parks, right? I mean, Kenny Smith told me, Paulie, he goes, Mully was one of the few white dudes who could play on Martin Luther King Boulevard. You know what I mean?
True story. And that speaks a lot about Chris Mullin. In fact, I want to piggyback off that because, I'm running out of listening to a guy like myself or Tony or even you, Bonta, just talk about Steph Curry. You run out of superlatives after a while. Like, you're seeing something so magnificent on a nightly basis, so deep into his career. I just feel like we're really fortunate. I really do. I think like we're going to look back on these years and say like, I don't think we realize how good we had at watching Steph Curry every night. So just a couple of numbers. Then I have a question for you, Bonta. So last night, Steph Curry, he hits for 52. It was, get ready for this. How about this? This was the 146th time in Steph Curry's career where he hit 7 or more threes. He had eight threes in the first half. He had 32 points in the first half. Finishes with 52. Similar to what Tony asked you, Bonta, as I've said, I'm running out of superlatives. So what does a Hall of Fame guy like Chris Mullin say? Like maybe when the cameras are off and you guys are watching, a guy who's played with Magic, played with Jordan, Patrick Ewing, as you said, the dream team. He was a starter. Right. What does Mullin, like an NBA blue chip Hall of Famer, have to say about watching Steph Curry on a nightly basis? Maybe stuff like the viewers don't normally get to hear.
Basically says the same thing as us. Like he's one of one. Just look at the numbers. When you start entering the record books and your name is linked with Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, the greats of the greats. I mean, it says it all. And so Mully's like, look, this is the house that Steph Curry built, Chase Center. He is the heart and soul of this franchise. Everything revolves around him, and the numbers do not lie. What he does on a daily basis, knowing that he's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the scouting report, knowing that he's going to get double to half court, knowing there's going to be boxing ones, triangle and twos, teams are going to pick up full court, 94 feet, face guarding him. I mean, what else can you say? So Mully, kind of like us, is like a fan saying, yes, this guy's an all-time great. He's helped change the game, and what he's done on an international level and carrying himself on and off the court. That's the one. I think Mully's probably more impressed with that, the way he carries himself off the court. A people person. I mean, I'll tell you guys a quick story.
Sure.
Steph Curry, I run into Steph Curry. He goes, hey, man, I ran into your boy. What you talking about? And my boy's nickname is Wet Wet. Don't ask questions, Polly Particles.
I won't. It's all good.
Wet Wet. That's a whole different conversation, right? I'm thinking to myself, like, what are you talking about, Steph? Like, are you listening to the show too much? What's going on?
Yeah.
So I call my buddy up. He goes, yeah, I ran into Steph 2 weeks ago at this after-school program. I told him, yeah, Bonta's my boy. Tell him I said, what's up? The fact that Steph Curry,
I know,
got over 1 billion followers all these agendas. He's doing everything, community work, going to gyms, after school programs, golf programs, you name it. The fact that he remembered that's who he is, Paulie and Tony. That's who he is. He's just like one of us, and he reads everything. He knows everything. One time I'm linking around chasing, he goes, "Hey, Bonta, don't you got to wake up early in the morning? Oh, wait, tomorrow's Sunday. Wait a minute, you know my radio schedule? What's going on here?" So that's just, I mean, I'm in awe, and you're right. And I want to ask you guys this, because I was thinking about this last night driving home. Yes, we're lucky that Steph Curry got drafted by the Golden State Warriors. Thank you, Minnesota, for drafting Ricky Rubio and Johnny.
Nice.
Right, nice.
I have it right.
Rubio.
But, I mean, was it like watching Montana? Was this like, when I came around watching Montana towards the tail end of his Niner career? I didn't see the 84 season, the 81 season. My first Super Bowl I remember was the Bengals one out in Joe Robbie Stadium, Super Bowl 23. But I wonder, was it like this? Was Joe Montana resonating like this in this region, kind of like Steph Curry is right now?
I love the question. I do. I love the question, Bonta, and it's a great analogy, because I think I can safely say this, having observed all those years as a diehard Niner fan, like the love for Joe Montana for decades, even to this day. Joe Montana walks into any restaurant in town, he's eating for free. I mean, he's still like the king of San Francisco. The only guy in my mind to kind of challenge him for that position is Steph Curry. And as you just explained, Bonta, Steph Curry is an exceptional human being. Like Joe Montana, even to this day, is somewhat camera shy. He's not totally comfortable doing interviews. He'd rather not get in front of a mic if he doesn't have to. He will to promote stuff and everything, or if he has an event. But Steph seemingly has time for everybody, little kids, old ladies. I mean, we saw him give the jersey to that grandma a few weeks ago.
Kitty.
Grandma Kitty was insane. It was like, Steph, where is this coming from? I don't know. He finds the time and energy, but no, he's an exceptional human being. And you're right. Great parallel for him and Joe Montana. Those are the only two guys that really, I think, can be compared to each other, even though they're different sports of that magnitude. There's only the two, and you nailed it. Now, Bonta, I got one more thing for you, and it's a little bit lighter. Tony, you got another basketball?
I got one.
I'm going to close on a light note, so you get one more.
I got something light for Bonta as well, but I also want to say, Bonta, Paulie and I talked about this. There was a video when the last Olympics, right, with that great run that the Olympic team had, where the whole team is leaving, I think, UNLV in Vegas, and there's people outside waiting for autographs, and the entire Olympic team walks by the group and gets on the bus, except for Steph. And that's the best of the best, leaving that practice and getting to the bus. That's right. And Steph says, you know what? I'm going to stop and sign some autographs. He was the only guy on the entire team. And I'm like, dude, that right there. And it goes along with your story that you're talking about with what was it? Wet?
Wet.
Wet. Wet. You don't roll up on wet. Yeah.
Leave wet a little bit. It's in this category, man.
Shout out
leave that one alone.
Hey, wet.
I love it, dude.
Real quick though, because Paulie, you're right. We've run out of adjectives to kind of describe Steph. I remember doing morning radio like you did, and Paulie Mack, you guys had a great run, no doubt about it. You guys set the template for what morning radio should be in this market. But I remember Steph dropped like 46. I got maybe 4 calls the next day on a 4-hour show. I'm like, nobody gives a damn about Steph dropping 46. It's like we got bored with it. And people would rather talk about the drama or what's not happening or the guy who maybe is a minus 15 in the plus minus department. And I'm thinking to myself, don't take this for granted, man. The dude's dropping 50 burgers at the age of 37. I heard you guys rattling off those numbers. The oldest player to have a half where he goes 35-5. Like yesterday at halftime, he had 32, 5-4 or something like that. It was like, all right, you can just shut it down and you still win NBA Player of the Week with those type of numbers, man. But no, let me add 20 to that and drop a 50 burger against the Grizzlies. I mean, I think people have gotten bored with Stephen Curry, and he's kind of reminded everybody that, hey, I'm 37 years old. Guards aren't supposed to perform at this level at the age of 37. I mean, come on, man. It's just, I hope people are appreciating what he's doing on a nightly basis because he is must-watch television. He's appointment television, and he's kind of saved the NBA these last couple of years with the way he plays, the joy, the antics, and all that. So you guys saw that road trip where he's going to Brooklyn and Madison Square Garden in Orlando. It's like Warrior home games.
Seriously.
You guys grew up. We can't even get Warrior games on our televisions, like Sports Channel. We're not watching the Dubs. They're on D5 with a sporting green by January. You know what I'm saying? And now they're selling out arenas all around the country. But that's all because of Stephen Curry, man. So I do hope people appreciate him now because before it's all said and done, He's going to be retired, riding off into the sunset, and we're going to be sad Warrior fans.
Well, listen,
Totally.
I want to say, I want to thank Bonta for coming on today. We go back a long way. Now, Bonta, again, he's a veteran of KMBR, 95.7 The Game, and now we watch him every night on NBC Sports Bay Area with Festus and Mully. You guys have a great chemistry. You got a great thing going, and I have a feeling you're going to be there for a long time, and I'm very proud of you, Bonta. But here's my question. Now, one of the reasons I always love Bonta so much is when he would roll into KMBR, like I could tell, I'm like, this is a city kid right here. This is a son of San Francisco. I could tell by the way you talk about the streets and the neighborhoods. I'm like, I love this kid. He's all about San Francisco. Now, here's my question. I am not exactly like the epitome of a fashion template. You know what I mean? I'm a hoodie guy. I'm a Grateful Dead guy. I got the tie-dye going, shit like that. But Bonta, bro, I'm tuning in now, and I'm starting to get like, I'm getting flop sweat looking at you because you got these cool suits, you got the badass shoes. But here's my question. Is it still cool? Now, you got to tell me. I know nothing about fashion. Is it still cool to rock the sneakers with the suit? And would I be able to get away with that, Bonta? Tell me.
Paulie Mac, you can get away with anything. You're Paulie Mac, dude. When you got Mac attached to your name, that means something, man. That's strong. Paulie Mac, and nobody questions that. So, it's funny. As I've, this is my 5th year now at NBC. This year, I probably wore tennis shoes 3 times.
You're phasing them out. That's what I'm asking.
Phasing them out. I like the old school dress shoes, man.
Yeah.
The water browns, the dark reds, the black, and kind of getting into and you look at it, and my fiance is kind of she's bougie. I'll say she's bougie. And once you go bougie, don't go back. Like trust me.
No, you don't.
You don't go back. It's a different lifestyle. Pinkies up when we're drinking coffee, right? No, she bought me some Dior's one time. I'm like, what are these? She's like, dude, just wear them.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, you want to go to the Gucci store, babe? And I'm like, I got to slow down, right? But I've kind of phased out the tennis shoes, man. I don't lie. And the tennis shoes are a great look. Well, you can get away with them, but you can't overdo it, I feel like. You can't just rock J's every single day because everybody's doing them, right? And so you kind of want to go back and buck the trend a little bit, and I go back to the dress shoes. Now it's about the ties. It's about the shirt combination. I spent so much time on fashion over the last 2 years.
I bet.
It's funny. Like when my wife is not here, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, what do I do, babe? What's the combination? I send her a picture. She goes, well, that doesn't do it justice. I can't really see it. I'm screwed. So I go on YouTube and I'm like, light blue suit combinations. And I'm watching these YouTube videos of this AI generated guy. Now with the navy blue, you can go monochromatic. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do that. Then I'll go to the studio. I'll bring 4 ties with me. Now I'll ask all the ladies there, what do you think goes together? Is it this? Should I go pocket square? Should I go tie clip? What do I do here? But Paulie back, to answer your question, I'm long-winded here. Yes, you could get away with tennis shoes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just asking because I still host events sometimes, and I got to throw the suit on. And I was like, I don't know if I'm cool enough to throw the sneakers on with the suit. But if you give me a blessing,
rock like some old Adidas or something, Beastie Boys.
Well, what if I did? See, but it would be more to my true personality if I rock like no, I would say for me, I got to rock like all-star Chuck Taylors.
Chuck Taylors, So
Fezzi rocked some Chuck Taylors, looked really good.
See,
and Fezzi gets he had some shoes yesterday that would have made Walt Frazier jealous.
Nice.
I mean, the guys just I thought I was stepping my game up and like, man, I got nothing on this guy, man. I'm not in his warehouse.
I got Festus wearing stuff I don't even know existed, like those long shirts that go down to his knees. I'm like, what is that thing?
He's like Wakanda forever, man. The African garb. He's gonna get me in that stuff soon, right? I mean, it's unbelievable what he's doing, right?
So comfortable. He looks so comfortable, man. And hey, since you brought up Festus, my final for you, Bonta, will you please tell Festus? Just thank him for me for posting the food videos that he's posting now. All of his food, dude. He went to I forget the name of the taqueria he went to in San Francisco the other day, and I'm like, dude, I want to be in his car with him, like taking a bite of that burrito. So please thank him for those food videos because he's on fire with those, man. And he seems like such a fun dude to work with, man. And by the way. And also Reardon Hoops. Did you follow Reardon Hoops this year?
I did follow Reardon Hoops. Now, some of the staff with Reardon was a little ticked off at me. I said some things saying, hey it's the best high school team money could buy, right? But I said that a couple of years ago, but I was joking. I got a lot of friends over there. They took it personal. I was like on their bulletin board. Like, we got motivation. That guy, Bonta Hill, is talking bad about us. He's rooting for SI Sacred Heart. I represent all the city schools, okay? They ran into a dude. I didn't know who this kid from Roosevelt, whoever he was it Brayton?
Up in Sac.
He almost dropped 50 on him in the state championship game. What do? You tip the cap, say we had a great season. We're NorCal champs. They call it the day. But Raiders had a great program going on, man. They had a really good season.
Hey, listen, Bonta, bro, we love you very much, man, and we're gonna we really appreciate you giving us a couple of minutes. I know it's your day off, and we'll be watching tomorrow night before the Laker game, dude. Just keep doing what you're doing, Bonta. You look great, you sound great, and you're right at home with those guys. And more success to you, my friend.
Dude.
Chris Muller wore Adidas shell toe shoes a couple weeks ago, Paulie.
Okay.
Adidas, you can rock it with this suit.
Okay.
And Tony, both of you guys look refreshed to sleep. Oh my God, how great does it feel to sleep?
Oh, dude, it's hard to do it. I've been sleeping for about a year nonstop. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
Paulie, Tony, love you guys, man. Appreciate you guys having me on, man. Truly appreciate it.
Bonta, congrats on it all, man. Congrats on it all, brother. Thank you for joining us, man.
Anytime. Anytime.
Thanks,
Bonta. Take care, Bonta.
Bonta Hill, everybody, NBC Sports Bay Area, all around cool guy too. Obviously, you can see. But that's what one of the things I love about Bonta, Tony, is the guy you see on TV is exactly the same guy as Just Evidence did when he's hanging out. There's no.
I remember when he came into my studio and said that he was leaving, and I was like, "Hey, man, just you deserve it. You earned it. You got to go do your thing." I said, "But make sure you make this exit a good one, because you never know where you're going to go next. You never want to burn a bridge in this industry." And man, the fact that he has just soared, dude, spread his wings and soared. Washington High School's own, by the way, born and raised in San Francisco.
That's what I love about the kid. Yep.
Yes. That's what I love so much about it. And it's a great story, and it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Hey. Yeah, what?
Creative Tony, as we talk about great Washington High School alums right here in San Francisco, am I mistaken when I say Darren Chan, also a product of what? See what I'm saying? You got two of the
if there's a Washington High School Mount Rushmore or a Mount Washington Moore,
I got Chan and Hill side by side, dude. Chan and Hill. Yeah, like looking at each other. You know what I mean? Like looking at each other. Yeah.
Totally, man.
Hey, no coincidence. They're both great human beings, and we love them both. Anyway, Bonta, thanks again for coming on. Go Dubs. Tony, what's our next maneuver on the Particle podcast here?
We're going to continue live with the Polymax Particle program, and we're going to get you ready for Lakers Dubs tonight in LA. Come on, Dubs. Like Bonta said, man, more importantly than beating Denver, it's like, hey, send a message to the Lakers tonight, because as much as LeBron's going to get protected down in La La Land, it'd be nice if the refs could have a little favorable whistle to Steph after he just got mauled in Memphis. I'm sure there's claw marks still on Steph's skin, right?
Don't forget, I had to give Bob Fitzgerald credit, man. And Bob Fitzgerald, as great as he is as a broadcaster, he's done the Olympics, he's done freaking football, he's done basketball. I didn't know he had comedy chops like this, and I had to give it up. When somebody says something funny, I give him the love. But what Bob Fitzgerald was looking at Steph Curry's body a couple of weeks ago on TV with the claw marks and scratches.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't know if this is confirmed, but I think Steph Curry's been sleeping with a Wolverine because he's so scratched up. I was like, you know what, Bob? You actually made me laugh. All right, Tony, on the way out, just a couple of words about our friend Carlos at Flex Funding. Listen, Carlos is one of our favorite guys. You met him at Longbridge Pizza last night at the big party, or last week rather, at the big party we had for opening day. You can reach him on the phone, 925-250-4894. Also checks his emails on the regular, carlos@myflexnow.com. Basically, mortgage broker that offers private money loans, specializes in HELOC loans, home equity lines of credit. And again, Tony, if you could put the Elvis Costello artistic rendering up there where we substituted, there he is. And that's, as much as we're like laughing about this and trying to have some fun with it, the truth of the matter is you have to be able to trust your finance guy. And
no question.
Carlos is a son of San Francisco. He's a native.
Yep.
He's been in business for 26 years taking care of issues like this, and he's extremely trustworthy. I would not, again, as Tony and I have decided, like, we're not going to attach ourselves to any business that we're not comfortable with, and we're not comfortable passing on to our audience. This is a case where I am more than comfortable. I am confident to offer Carlos's services to you. Because listen, Tony, I think what the party at Longbridge proved is that we really are forging like a community.
Yep.
And I only want good people in the community, honestly. And Carlos is one of those guys.
Good vibes.
Go ahead, T.
And you know what, Carlos? No, but Carlos is also, who's probably a big Bonta Hill fan is one SF native to another, Carlos, because of their whole story of like just, growing up in San Francisco and then making a name for yourself in whatever industry you choose. And Bonta obviously chose broadcasting, and he's crushed it. And Carlos has chosen Flex Funding, and he's crushed it. And again, it's the trust thing, dude. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to say that. I'm not sure. Carlos, it's like how you trust your mechanic. I've been going to the same mechanic, Paulie, for almost 30 years.
Because you're smart. You find a good one and you stay with them. Yep.
But I just trust him. And it's nothing again. I'm not saying mechanics are shady. I'm just saying that when you find somebody you trust and you have a relationship with, and Carlos is all about building their relationships. Because hey, maybe after you go see Carlos, then you can refer him to somebody else. And then the word of mouth, hence how we want this show to spread to people via word of mouth, is the same thing for Carlos.
Tony, if I may, I'd like to assign the official song of Carlos de la Fuente at Flex Funding. I think from now on, given everything you just said, the song should be by Pearl Jam, State of Love and Trust.
Nice.
And again, one of my favorite tracks by Pearl Jam. They're bringing it hard. In fact, side note, little quick story. I asked Tony when we saw Pearl Jam, my first Pearl Jam gig, which Tony had to kind of throw me in the car and take me. It wasn't like I had a problem, but I wasn't like, I don't think I really understood what was going on there. And then as soon as they hit the stage, I'm like, okay, I get it. I got it. And then at one point I looked at Tony and I go, Tony, am I going to hear State of Love and Trust tonight? And you were like, probably not. They don't play it that much. Boom. There it was about an hour later in the set. So I got
and
it.
That was a nice treat, man. That was a nice treat because they don't play it that much anymore. They don't. And that was a really nice treat.
I'm going to play it for Carlos because he is the State of Love and Trust. And final words on Carlos, no appraisal fees attached, no escrow and title fees. Fast closing, usually within 8 days, he can take care of that. He's got a great FICO score, 700 plus. And again, the guy is he's a friend of ours, and you can trust him. So if you need some cash or you just need to talk about a loan, Carlos is your guy. Okay, Tony, go Dubs. We'll see you tomorrow on Friday. Tony, got to remind the audience we're doing something special now on Friday. We got to reinforce this one more time so people don't show up at noon. Opening day, the home opener, obviously, Oracle Park. We're all going to be out there. So Tony and I have decided one time only, we're going to move the high noon broadcast to start at a special time Friday tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. That way we can talk about the game that's just been played. We can take some thoughts and calls. Tony, you're eager. Flash those fingers. What do you got?
I say I want to call it the PMP home opener happy hour. Okay.
Okay.
PMP home opener happy hour. Instead of cracking a high noon, crack a happy hour beverage with us, or spark a happy hour J with us at 4:30. Hopefully celebrating a Giants home opener win.
I hope so too. The way the Giants are playing ball right now, I feel very optimistic about that. And Tony, have you noticed that like we started on our Wednesday night flight, we decided we would have like one cocktail. Now it's starting to spread. Now we're having cocktails on Friday. You're encouraging people to roll them up. I mean, it's getting loose. But listen, that's
Paulie.
Yeah.
Because we can.
Because we freaking can. There's no one lording over us anymore. It feels free.
Yes.
By the way, last thing, Tony. Last thing. You dismiss the class. I got to use hush tones on this. You were saying to Bonta, like when he told you, when he came in your studio at KBR some years ago, and he's like, Tony, I'm leaving. And then you were like, hey, man, don't burn any bridges.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you, how are we doing in that capacity? Are we cool? I'm not sure. Did we upset people? I walked out of there very quietly. No one even knew what had happened. How about you?
I kept my mouth shut this time, but I almost burnt a bridge back in 2005 that I had to
Tony?
come to, with Tony
Can
Salvador.
We tell that story? Well, that one might be a little too personal.
It's fine. I have no problem telling it. I mean, do you want to tell it now or later? But
let's save it. Let's save it for another day. But it's a move you made. Like, I can't believe you came back from that. I can't believe he came back. And truth be told, I told you this, Brian Murphy and myself had to have a closed door meeting with Lee Hammer before they hired you back. And we had to like go to bat for you. I'm like,
I know. Yeah.
I'm like, I promise Tony's like, he's focused. He's ready to go. Yep. You won't have any problems anymore, and because you did, he's not
wearing flip flops to work anymore.
No, he decided he won't wear a skirt anymore. And dude, you really pushed your luck on that one.
Hey man, I'll never forget the phone call I got from Lee Hammer saying, "Hey, I'm making the calls now, and I want to bring you back, but are you ready to come back?" And then he talked to me about a whole slew of things that needed to happen for me to just get back into the creative director driver's seat. So it was all meant to be. It was just a very interesting path that I took.
Well, that path is for your steps alone. Shout out Ripple. Shout out Grateful Dead. If you're talking paths, you got to talk about that path. All right, Tony, let's dismiss the class on a Friday, or excuse me, on the We'll see you tomorrow for Polymac Particle Open Happy Hour, 4:30 p.m. special broadcast time. We'll review the game that's just been played, get everybody set up for their weekend. Tony, final thoughts, and we're out.
I'm just pumped for this weekend of Warrior hoops and Giants baseball. I mean, it's a great combination. And then we got the NFL draft coming up before we know it too, Paulie. So it'd be nice if the Niners could maybe think about their O-line, even though Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch think their O-line's okay. Colton McKivitz is all of a sudden good. Jake Brendel's all of a sudden good.
Yeah,
okay.
right. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, but Brock Purdy doesn't need time behind the line. No.
Nah.
I protect your $60 million a year asset. I don't know.
Oh God, I know. Don't give me. I know you're going to get me all stressed on the way out the door. All right, we're going to try to calm the Jets right now. Tony's smiling, I'm smiling. Let's keep it that way. We love all of y'all. Thanks for lining up today in the comments line. We'll see you tomorrow. Polymax Particle special time, 4:30, opening day in San Francisco. We'll see you then, y'all. Peace.
Peace.